So I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were challenging me on which way was north, and we were not far from Westheimer, and I'm like, well, you know, I've lived here almost 50 years, and I've watched all this stuff get built. I know which way I'm looking when I'm near Westheimer, because I spend 3/4 of my life, you know, within sight of Westheimer Road. It's right over there. It's where I work, and my house is not very far from Westheimer. I mean, almost literally a stone's throw. I could just about lob a rock north of my house and hit Westheimer. And it struck me as like, oh my God, that statement is true. I mean, I'm 48. In a little while it'll be 50. And I basically have lived here my whole life. I mean, my parents moved down here when I was 5, I think, right about there. Man, what happened? Where'd all that go? And I really would like to sit down and figure out what percentage of my life I've spent within sight of Westheimer Road. That would be a very damaging piece of information, I think, because even when I was in an apartment, I lived not too far from Westheimer. You know, back in the day, that was within a couple of miles. I worked and lived within a few miles of Westheimer. I mean, every place you go is on Westheimer, it seems like. That's starting to change now. I mean, there's other roads, there's other places that whenever you want to go do something, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be near Westheimer. But I don't know, a lot of people I know, when they say they live in Houston, they actually mean they live inside the loop. There seems to be an inside the loop crowd of Houston and an outside the loop crowd of Houston. So you got to be careful when you ask somebody when they're from Houston. They say they're from Houston, you got to ask them, well, are you from Houston inside the loop or from Houston outside the loop?